Operation accomplished. Your valor is beyond question.
Mission coordinates locked. Hellpods primed. Engaging orbital thrusters. Synchronized. Mission preparation aborted.
She told me don't worry about it. She told me don't worry no more. Okay, so let's go ahead and go here.
Look at this disgusting infestation. Deploy to the planet and expunge it.
Engaging orbital thrusters.
We near operational
Orbit synchronized. Hellpods primed.
Okay, we gotta actually look up.
What about here?
Allied destroyer has joined squadron. Engaging orbital thrusters. Orbit synchronized. Allied destroyer has joined squadron. Engaging orbital thrusters. Orbit synchronized. Launch initiated.
We have to look up. There has to be like things that do work and don't work. Every citizen is important to how much most of them.
Go now. Save this planet from infestation.
Requesting Zapcat.
Calling down a sentry! Jetpack inbound! Calling in orbital strike!
Did this guy just...
Requesting sentry!
Moving to the front.
New man! Calling down a sentry! How'd you like to taste the free blood?
Calling down a sentry. Placing sentry.
Calling down a sentry! Our tunnel is requesting orbital strike!
Heads up! Heads up!
Calling down a sentry!
That's gonna do a lot of good.
Calling down the strike! Get some! Get some! Ha! Calling down fortifications! Requesting sentry!
Sending down sentry.
Requesting sentry! Calling down a sentry! Freedom forever! Mag's empty!
That'll never destroy our way of life! Calling down a sentry.
I think this is literally the only way to freaking.
Bugs, east. Mag's empty. Reloading. Calling in orbital strike. Mag's empty. Heavy.
Mission at 10 minutes remaining.
Freedom spreads yet further. Extract when ready.
Sample collected.
Pelican 1 approaching request confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
Got it. Sample.
Pelican 1 landing sequence initiated. Watch where you're standing. The mission area. Countdown initiated. Stand by for takeoff.
Calling down a sentry.
Reinforcement budget depleted. Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
That one wasn't bad.
You have maintained our way
I
of
would
life.
probably put the mortar one in instead of the giant Gatling one. Just because I almost got killed. Nice. Outstanding patriotism. amazing how high level some of these people are.
Allied destroyer has left squadron.
Fewer condolence letters than usual today. Well done. Welcome aboard, Helldiver.
Did you know the scientific term for a group of bugs is a bane of terminids? The unofficial term is Future Element 710.
Interesting. That's crazy that it's so expensive to upgrade shit. Oh. Okay, I get it now. I want this one. Ooh, this one. Yeah, these two. I need this. So there has to be a thing of like the best Helldivers missions for samples. Is there like a...
Look at all the samples, brother. Makes no dang sense. Howdy and hello, Mdo. Hope you're doing good. Here's a good way to farm samples after the update in Helldivers 2. Do Blitz, Search, and Destroy. Any difficulty, I recommend 6 and above. I'm doing Super Helldive for the egg.
Can't forget to check up on shuttle.
Get rich quick. Okay, let's go.
If you have ever played Helldivers 2 for some time, you may have noticed the amount of grinding it takes to max out ship modules, even though some of them are questionable upgrades. Farming samples can be a long and tiresome practice for some players, especially if you don't know the best way to do so. Well, luckily for you, you clicked on this video to seek further knowledge and get rich on samples the fastest way up to date. Now, the first thing you may be wondering is which faction to farm samples in. And well, you can do it in both, but it's a lot easier and generally faster to farm samples against the Terminids rather than the automatons, unless you prefer getting shot across the map and through foliage while climbing mountains of automaton bases. Versus the bugs, you have the advantage of running, map clarity, and loadouts that are viable for speed and efficiency. For the type of mission, the best mission used to be retrieve essential personnel but no longer seems to be available, so Blitz Search and Destroy will have to do for now. Look for the Blitz missions partially covered by water, but not too much water, as the sample count remains the same, but more condensed within shorter distances from each other. Maps covered by bug fog are preferably avoided to see landmarks and bug holes better, but you can still hit them up when no other option reaches out to you. The difficulties to choose from really just comes down to your skill level, as the higher the difficulty, the higher the rewards, but only marginally. Level 7 to 9 are generally the best because you can get every type of sample in these difficulties. Difficulty 10 does have the Mega Nest and provides the mutated egg reward, but the value of it only gives 6 samples extra, 4 rare and 2 super rare, and isn't really worth it to me. By the time you need all of the common samples for an upgrade, you will generally have the required rare and super rare samples already. Countless times I find myself maxed with those samples before able to buy the upgrade I want. If sometime in the future there is a sample conversion machine, this information will be of no use. Samples can be found in and around bug holes. Side objectives such as spore towers, stalker nests.
Okay, so we should actually be playing on lower difficulties if that's the case.
Mission coordinates locked. Hellpods prime. Engaging orbital thrusters.
Assault rifle. 40.
A new follower.
Alright. Page locked. Oh, for the premium people, the people that actually want to spend money on this. Premium.
Pod launch initiated.
This guy probably has like a ridiculous amount of upgrades to his stuff.
Let our enemies choke upon their territorial ambitions.
Sending out an SOS!
Calling down a support weapon.
Calling down a support weapon. Requesting sentry. Requesting tac tac.
Okay, never mind.
Calling down supplies.
Calling down a sentry.
Found something.
Get some! Get some!
Orbital inbound. Up tunnel breach.
Reloading! Mag's empty.
Allied destroyer joining squadron, deploying Helldiver to combat zone. Allied destroyer joining squadron, deploying Helldiver to combat zone.
How about a nice cup of liver tea? Tagging map to the southwest, 200 meters. New mag!
Hellbomb armed. Clear the area.
Heavy, southeast, 50 meters.
So is it better?
Calling in reinforcements. Requesting air support.
Requesting sentry.
Requesting orbital. Requesting air support.
Activating jump pack.
Mirror nothing.
Mag's empty. Calling down a sentry. Throwing grenade. New man. Sending in an eagle. How'd you like the taste of freedom? Get some. Get some.
Sending in an eagle.
You will never destroy our way of life.
Found something.
Reinforcing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Reinforcing. Bug outpost spotted.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Point me to the enemy. Requesting advanced weaponry. Requesting sentry. Tac inbound.
30 minutes remaining.
Calling down a sentry! Mag's empty! Mag's empty!
Yeah, you can't hear me because I have
Super
myself on
Earth.
mute.
Our home. Prosperity. Liberty. Hi there. Democracy. Our way of life. Oh, hello.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
But freedom doesn't come free.
What's going on with
Sweet liberty! No! Look familiar?
like Twitch is... I'll show you what my screen looks like. So this is what it looks like. I don't know why it's like that for Twitch. But that's
Helldiver, we have at last discovered the vile intentions of the Illuminate cult.
we're just gonna go to quick play because
Allied destroyer has joined
whatever
squadron.
happened.
Engaging orbital thrusters. Orbit synchronized. Allied destroyer has left. Hellpod launch initiated.
How are things with you? I'm looking for inspiration to a multitude of possibilities to put in my video game. So if you have an idea for it, shit,
Go now, and should you fall, remember this. Every day is a good day to die for democracy.
Requesting sentry.
Trying to make a
Requesting backpack. Calling down a support weapon.
city called Progress. Vulture Press, where it's a bunch of people that come together that are society's worst, but are able to survive because they're slightly better than the monsters.
Mag's empty. Sample collected.
Alright, there you go. Jesus.
Oh, to democracy.
But yeah, we're making a game, and I'm trying to populate a town that I want to be filled with like ironic happenings. You should consider playing Dead Island since it's
Reinforcing. Reporting to the front. Calling down a sentry. Five tunnel brig. Heavy. Southeast. Close.
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
New mag.
I just missed it.
Joining the fray.
Calling in reinforcements. Have a taste of democracy.
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
Bag's empty!
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
Liberty emerges victorious yet again. Extract when ready.
Pelican 1 approaching pickup. Confirmed. Shuttle inbound. Pelican 1 landing sequence initiated. Watch where you're standing.
Bag's empty! How about it?
Countdown initiated. Stand by for takeoff.
Really?
Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
You have maintained our way of life.
That mission was literally useless because we didn't get any samples. Horrible. The fact that literally there's so many people there. We had 2 other people and neither one of them were actually doing any good. Anyway, so we're trying to make a world and I'm trying to design the very first town. And we've come up with okay. We've come up with a town called Vulture's Rest, and I'm trying to come up with more characters to fit within Vulture's Rest, but essentially what I want is to have a town full of irony and have it where our town that we have for this specific one is a bunch of horrible horrible realities that people have to live through.
Mission coordinates locked.
So
Hellpods primed.
that's what we're kind of trying
Engaging
to do.
orbital thrusters. Orbit synchronized.
But yeah, like one of the things that we've already come up with is a priest Anyways, so we're kind of like looking to fill this up with people that are ironically horrid. So like the one that I came up with last night is a priest that has to kill his congregation because they all turn into the zombies.
You secured a lot of samples. Well done.
Oh, this guy doesn't even have this unlocked.
I just set all the ship's clocks back an hour for freedom savings time.
Crack open one of these battery packs, and you'll
Hellpods prime. Engaging orbital thrusters.
What the fuck is going on with my hand, bro? Bro, I'm doing the Elon
Orbit
Musk.
synchronized.
Here? What about here?
What is Dead of Night? What do I have in my cart? The fuck? This one?
No, not that way. Okay, good. I'm checking my.
So follow the compass. Here we go. Let's go.
Launch initiated.
He's right there. Go. Go. He gets her.
that one?
Go now, and fear the shadow of neither death nor tyranny, for justice is your cause.
Freedom requires firepower. Requesting tac pack. Mag's empty! One high spotted! On tunnel breach! Throwing grenade!
Outpost cleared.
Got a sample!
Requesting orbital.
Reloading!
Heavy, northwest, close.
Rare sample acquired.
Reinforcing.
Mission at 10 minutes remaining.
Calling in reinforcements!
Calling down a sentry.
Calling down a sentry!
Requesting sentry.
Requesting sentry! Bug eye spotted! Prepare to exterminate! Sending in an eagle!
Tagging location.
Heavy, northeast, close. How about a nice cup of liberty? Lust and prosperity. Throwing grenade. Mag's empty. Bug tunnel breach.
Outpost purged.
Reinforcing. Calling in reinforcements. Democracy has landed. Requesting air support.
Reloading.
Rear sample. Found something. Sending in an eagle.
Terminate hive structure destroyed.
I'm on it.
What's up? I'm looking for stories to add to my game. Can you think of anything that would be cool to actually play in a zombie apocalypse?
Requesting sentry.
Calling down a sentry!
Like, I'm trying to do
Requesting sentry!
Vulture's Rest, which is a town I want to be filled with like horrible realities. And
Supplies, northeast. I need supplies. Calling in reinforcements!
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
I'm on it!
Joining the fray.
hey, where are you going? Hey!
Bug tunnel breach! Reinforcing!
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched. 5 minutes remaining. I repeat, 5 minutes remaining.
Why are people not coming over here?
I'm on it!
Reinforcing!
Reinforcing! How'd you like the taste
Request
of
approved.
freedom?
Reinforcements have been launched.
Calling in reinforcements!
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
Ready to liberate. I've got this one.
Say hello to democracy!
Reinforcing!
What's up, Bill? How's it going? We are looking for ideas to put in our zombie game. We have Vulture's Rest, which is going to be a town full of rejects that I'd like to have ideas to fill in
Calling
the
down a sentry!
Sending down sentry.
rest of the
Requesting
residents.
sentry!
So like an example of that is a priest who's lost faith in himself and his ability
How'd
to
you
do
like the
anything
taste of freedom?
because he had to murder his whole congregation because of the outbreak.
Mag's empty!
So can you think of anything like that? That would be kind of like dark and twisted. How based in reality is it? I mean, it's a zombie game, so it's not gonna be too realistic, but it's gonna take inspiration directly from our reality. Like, I want it to be somewhat realistic. but just like as long as it's not like a cat person comes out. Like the Fallout games. Like, they get pretty crazy.
Mag's empty.
Is it modern or in the 50s?
1 minute remains. Destroyer departure imminent.
Reinforcing! Calling in a hell bomb.
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
Found something!
Freedom triumphs over tyranny once more. The extraction shuttle awaits you at the west.
Calling in reinforcements.
To the sky!
So I just made up like
My
a
life
priest that has to
pursuer!
kill his congregation
Advanced weaponry.
because everyone turned into zombies.
Emergency extraction shuttle deployed.
Activating jump pack!
And then like a mother who is deliberately keeping her child who is a zombie already alive because she can't accept the fact that he's dead and he can choose to either kill the child or leave her be, but the cost of that being that she's slowly to ensure. Yes, I understand mom is trying to get me. Yeah, I don't care. They can wait.
ETA T-minus 1 minute.
Anyways, I like the idea, the outcast town idea. Yeah, so I want it to be where it's like a bunch of morale or moral dilemmas.
Reloading!
ETA T-minus 30 seconds.
Like the mother is, you know, able to be convinced that it's the right thing to kill the child, but also be like, it's not my business.
Changing ice!
I'm gonna make the priest insane, where he doesn't know that they're zombies, or just he's sent. No, so what it's gonna be is that he could have chose to fight for his congregation, but he didn't, and now he has to live with the reality of the fact that instead of dying with his congregation and trying to at least, you know,
Gotta swap ice!
at least like
Stand by for takeoff.
die doing the Lord's work, chooses to selfishly run and watches as the church burns, and that's what snaps him. Like, is this divine intervention, or am I being punished because I was never really, you know, worthy of God's, you know, trust to lead? But it's gonna be like you don't really know what happened. You're just like a third party coming into it. And like people still look to him as a priest of like, can he bless me of these sins? Forgive me of these sins, but he's like snapped and like doesn't believe that he's a holy man himself. So he understands that zombies were there, just Half-Life 2? I have played Half-Life.
another victory for democracy.
So we're actually gonna quit here because I need to go and play Super Mario Party with my sister and my sister's boyfriend and my mom. But I'm just thinking of, like, you know, of certain things like that where it's interesting survivors, and like the only reason that they're being kept alive, like, you could confront any of these people and just be like, they're insane, their society's worst, like maybe we should just kill them. I am also kind of tempted to make it where he confronts you after, like, the whole mission would be that you find him covered in soot and he's gripping like a burnt Bible or a charred Bible, and then literally he asks you to go and like check up on the church. And hold on, we're not actually doing anything else, so I can just do this. So the mission regarding the priest would be that you go to this town, which you would be introduced to this town as what it is. Like, it's nothing really big. And this would be like an optional town. Like, you can bypass this town completely. Like, you don't have to do this. It's like I want this to be a game where you can really just choose to do whatever you want, and there's not really a linear thing. Like, there's going to be a linear timeline of which you can try and do things, but I want it to be where, like, if you fuck around and you don't do what you're supposed to, it's a zombie apocalypse. So it's going to evolve, and then you're shit out of luck and you lose the game. Like, you don't lose the game. It's just there's an ending of which is inevitable, and so the game naturally ceases. It ends. So, is it open world? It would be open world, or like open world-ish, because it will be basically, it's going to be Vegas in the 50s, but like a alternate reality of Vegas. So basically what will happen is Vegas has, in the 50s, a zombie outbreak post World War II and the Korean War. And why stop with one town? You could make several. I want this to be like the capital of society's rejects. Oh no, there's gonna be different ones. I'm just trying to like complete this one town. So I want a town full of rejects that like makes you morally question things. So that's what I'm doing. I've already set up to be different things, but I just really like this town idea and I want to expand on it. So I'm looking for other ideas to do it. So basically you come to this town, it's known as the rejects, like the worst of society, but now that society is crumbling and the bar has been lowered, these people are allowed to live and be tolerated because they're slightly better than the zombies that exist or the monsters that exist in the world. So the first one would be the priest. You could have a zombie cult. I do have a zombie cult. I will expand upon that, but I want to focus on this first. I think, yes, I have a cult that I'm playing with the idea that they have like a divine vision, like insight into what's happening. And I'm thinking about, for this town, there's like a person that claims to have truth into what the zombies, like what exactly happens to the zombies. He's like a gravedigger for this town, like he's the graveyard's keeper, and he claims to hear what the dead, like the actual dead are, talking to him about. and he's trying to get you to actually dig up a specific grave that reveals why the zombie outbreak kind of, or like hints at why the zombie outbreak started. This sounds sick as fuck, not gonna lie. Yeah, so basically I want a zombie. The whole thing about this is that I've always loved horror games, and I love zombie games, but I want something like Red Dead Redemption Nightmare, where there's zombies that are always gonna be there, but also like there should still be a mismatch of society that is trying to move forward and like live within this. And we're gonna go ahead and have it where like I've thought a lot about this, and my dad's like, you should just fucking write a book if you're gonna go into this much detail. Just make the video game and like make it work. But I feel like when you have this much lore, like you put this much thought into it, it's better to have too much and then cut back than to not have enough and then make it where it's like a very boring on the rails shooter. Like I love Helldivers, and that's why I was playing Helldivers. I love the feeling of being able to sit there and just mindlessly farm, but also I want it to be where like it's in a 10 out of 10 Undead Nightmare. Yeah, definitely. I loved it. But that's what I want, a zombies in the 50s, because it's like I love the 50s and I love zombies, and also because like George Romero's Night of the Living Dead was during that time, so I want to kind of like pay an homage to that. I think that the 50s would be an interesting thing where like there's not too much of anything, but like there's so many wacky pop culture things that are happening in the time. So we're gonna have a couple of things. We're gonna have I have like 12 pallets worth of these, just filled with ideas. Do you have it on paper yet? I'm starting to write down your ideas if you haven't already. Yes, I have all of my paper already. I have like a whole box full of this stuff. But basically we're gonna have three to four factions that you can kind of play, and then within those factions you can kind of go to any of those factions, but then there's also going to be different things for you to do. So but with this town specifically, I kind of want like, because I feel like a lot of games focus on the positive things, like, oh yeah, you know, the world's ending, but there's good people. Like, there's always going to be good people. But, like, in reality, the world's ending. The people that are crazy or, like, on the edge of being crazy are going to come out and just, like, fuck it. Like, the police don't actually exist anymore. I'm going to go and do some of these things I never would have been able to do had the world not been ending, and kind of, you know, dive into that a little bit. Like, I don't want to go too dark, too deep, but I do want to, you know, talk about things that could have possibly happened and then kind of realize them. But yeah, so I have the idea of the priest that has to murder his entire congregation. He asks you to return to this church, let the souls that are there rest finally, and then you can either burn down the church or go in there and purge the church. And there's going to be a bunch of, you know, little symbolic stuff with that. How long after the apocalypse is this? This is a pretty brutal within like the first like week or two, but it's a very aggressive zombie apocalypse. So it's happened after Vegas has flooded, so it kind of adds to it. But this is like an aggressive, like if you've ever seen Train to Busan, it will be kind of like that style of zombie where it's like very, very aggressive, very like, you know, like 48 hours later. Like that kind of level where it's like the zombies are so aggressive and so fast and mean that it makes sense that they would overwhelm people. And in the 50s especially, when like not everybody carried weapons, everyone was very trusting, very happy-go-lucky, or for the most part. So that's why I like the 50s, is because it's like, oh, today everybody carries a gun in the United States. Like, not everybody, but like a lot of people do. And like a lot of people have seen zombie movies and, you know, would know, oh yes.
Talking about zombies.
Anyways, but yeah, like super fast, super aggressive. Are you gonna start? Are you gonna have varying zombies or just runners? I'm gonna have varying zombies, but just it'll make sense. I want everything to make sense. Like there's a lot of things where I play video games and I'm like, I notice patterns, and so I don't like it when like the continuity of things has holes in it. So obviously there's going to be like some people that are just, you know, dumb and just die to or become infected because they're dumb. Like anyone that has, you know, several lists of things. But, you know, for the most part, I want it to be where there's a variety of zombies, and then also like more focus on the people and like the struggle to survive and get out of the city. So the whole thing is going to be based off of the fact that the zombies are so bad in this area that they're just going to nuke the entire thing. Because it's just Vegas, right? Like in the 50s, Vegas was very small. Well, it was big, but it wasn't as big as it is today. So it's just the desert. So they're like, fuck it. Like we already do nukes out in the desert anyways. Why not just actually use one in the thing? So they've already evacuated the vast majority of Vegas, like the outer skirts of Vegas. But the middle still has people that are opportunists that are trying to, you know, make off with cash of Vegas before it goes. So that's going to be kind of where I want to focus, because I'm like, zombies in Vegas would be super fun, because you could have, you know, like all these like burlesque dancers, these showmen and showwomen of the industry trying to come out, and all these fantastic characters. Variety of like mafia people and, you know, cops and patriotic people and hippies and bikers, and, you know, there's all this stuff that you can have. And I just really love it, like grease junkies and all these other things. So can you add me as a cameo? What's your name? What's your first name? Maybe I'll add a character and name him after you. I just want to, like, you know, I'm thinking about all these things, and I'd like to have an ironic, you know, a town full of oddities that makes you really question, like,
hey, how long are you gonna be?
Give me like 5 minutes. Like, just start, put us in.
We already are. We've been waiting for a good 20 minutes now.
Okay. I'd go a little later towards the 60s if you want hippies and bikers. I mean, if it'll be like
Okay,
57, 58. Huh? Okay. It'll be like 57, 58. So you can play with the idea of hippies starting about. I won't say it, but in the Bible, my name belongs with the sons of Jacob. You can Google it. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm gonna have religious things in there, so maybe your name will already be in there. So, but that's the thing also, is I'll probably have like a floating timeline where it will be somewhat based unironically, maybe that story could give you inspiration for your game somewhere. Maybe. That works good then, for real? Yeah. But that's what I've put in a lot of thought into this game. Like, this is something that I really want to realize, because I haven't played a game that's a zombie game that I quite enjoyed for quite some time. So we're just kind of like throwing around all these ideas, and I'm thinking of like tens of thousands of things. And I just, like, I have woman who the mother knows best, you know, she doesn't want to deal with the fact that her child is dead, and so she starts to feed her child whatever she can. Obviously it's a zombie, so it craves human flesh. Are there gonna be any magic, fantasy, science aspects in it? The cult will delve into prophecies and, you know, the realm of reality but not reality. So maybe like magical in the sense of prophecies and satanic rituals, you know, that sort of thing. Most zombie games just end up being generic shooters or Walking Dead ripoffs. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't want that. But the cult like people that exist within this game are going to be very, like, I don't want to say off the hinge, but like kind of weird. And I also want another town that's thriving, like a little, like, you know, cul-de-sac that's like, you know, it doesn't seem like there's any zombies at all. They're out there like having barbecues, and it's like, it's a fantastic day, like, you know, everything's amazing. And then it turns out that, like, they're like, oh, why don't you be the guest of honor tonight and like stay here for the night? And if you choose to do so, they like try and get you. Like The Last of Us 2 was essentially just a worser version of Walking Dead 7th to 8th seasons. But the game was good as a whole. I have not played The Last of Us Part 2. I haven't played Last of Us Part 1 either. But I have got it. If you're seriously thinking about this, I'd start working on a loose storyline. Maybe some concept arts. I have already got the main storyline, which I don't want to reveal exactly. So now I'm just playing with like filler stuff on the outside. Like, I have the main storyline, so there's going to be 4 different storylines to this. But yeah, I just wanted to like see what you guys think, and like if there's anything that you guys would like. But anyways, back to this picture perfect society. So you come across another separate town, not this one that we're talking about, but a separate town where like they're completely oblivious to the zombie threat. Like, it's, you know, Dreamy Lane, you know, like amazing. And they're having barbecues, making hot dogs, burgers, whatever. One storyline for each faction, correct. And it'll make sense as to why you should side with the faction that you're able to go through, but also there's the freedom of choosing to ignore that and go to any of the other factions. So that's the thing too, is I always hated it when in a video game there's only one timeline, and regardless of what you want to do, it always is set in what isn't going to happen. And then I have a 5th option, which will be if you don't want to do any of the timelines. There's a 5th option. which would make sense to me. I was talking to my dad about it, and he's like, yeah. Because I started to pose all 4 of the different timelines, and he's like, oh, if these are all what it boils down to, then like there should be a 5th option where I don't have to go through anyone. If I figure out that and what the in-game trajectory is, and that's all it takes, then I can do that by myself. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah. Anyway, so this perfect lane, but okay, so here's the thing. There's 4 different factions, 4 main factions, 4 different ways for you to go about these factions. And then there's a 5th option if you don't want to do any of those things. Technically, there's 6 options. The 6th option is obviously you don't do anything. You just like do whatever you want within Vegas, and then the nukes drop and you're gone. Like that's it. Like bye-bye. Nuketown. Bye-bye. The 5th option will be if you choose not to do any of those things and you just play selfishly, which mankind is inherently selfish. Everyone's always survival of the fittest. So, and then all of the 4 different options will be interchangeable and represent different types of things. I don't want to give away too much because obviously I want you to experience all of them. But yeah. Anyways, this picture perfect lane. You know, white picket fences. No one's been infected. They're like, hey, why don't you stay here for a night? And then you're like, okay, cool. And then it turns out that they're on par with the zombies because they're just like secretly a cannibalistic society. And so while the reason that I have to like expand upon this, the reason that the zombies might not see them as a like a thing to go and hunt is because they're already eating people. So yeah, I was thinking about how ironic it would be to have a town full of cannibals that already exist in the town or in society when the zombie outbreak starts. So yeah, but the main appeal of it was the fact that I wanted a video game where you would be able to capitalize off of the zombie outbreak. And in Vegas, like the first thing that I would think of personally is like there's all that money in people's vaults, all that gold, all that, you know, nice stuff in hotels. I'm gonna go ahead and take some of that stuff because like everyone's already leaving. You know, if the place is really gonna get nuked, like I'll get some nice stuff out of this, you know, like art on the wall. Give me that. You know, casinos have a cash bank. I'm gonna get that. The cannibal thing has been done a few times. You might wanna go with their eating the zombies just for the shock factor. Yeah, I mean, I'm that's still a work in progress, but yeah. I was actually thinking about that, like them having someone that's somewhat good with like maybe a pro chef or something like that that's able, or like a pro huntsman that's able to like cut out the bad of zombies and like go ahead and do that. Make it where it makes sense that you'd be able to eat people. I don't know. It was just an idea. I always liked the idea of having a, you know, cannibalistic society within the struggling of survival for humanity. But yeah, the mom, if you choose not to do anything, she continues her delusion. And slowly the town of Crows. The town of Outcasts starts to slowly lose members kind of foreshadowing that she's like going about murdering everyone to feed her son. Is a solid idea, makes sense in a zombie apocalypse. Yeah. I want everything to be somewhat based in reality, but like still be fun enough to be where it's like, basically I want 80 to 90% of the game to make sense, and if you had a twisted enough mind, or given the circumstances that these characters face, you might accept or have reacted in a similar fashion. I don't like it when people just like throw things at a wall and make it stick, like see what sticks. I want everything to somewhat be based in reality. Like, food has stopped coming into the city, and like, you know, it's the desert, so you've run out of water, you've run out of food and everything else. So like now we're gonna go ahead and like have to resort to robbing people or whatever. Like how quickly neighborly people come about and like turn on one another to continue to survive. But yeah, that's just an idea that I'm trying to like build certain things around. But yeah, I've talked to my dad about it, and he's like, this is a great idea. I think that this is a perfect thing, because a lot of people continue to make zombie games in the modern setting, but there's always a thing of like, if it's in the modern setting, there's so many amenities to modern society. But like in the 50s, you have to think like they're somewhat based in reality. Like not everybody knew how to do this or that. And like a lot of people were very reserved. I gotta get going, my dude. Enjoy your family time. Hey, I was about to end stream anyway, so. But yeah. It's a really good idea. Yeah, I just have to like develop it, and I'm trying to, you know, make up all these little stories to kind of surround the bulk of it. Because I love games that have things for you to discover. And I don't want it to just be like a, oh, this had a little bit of story, but now it's just a, you know, a zombie shooter. Like, I don't want that to be that. Unique 2, I don't think that there's been a zombie game in the 50s yet. I don't either, so that's why I'm trying to do it in the 50s. And just because I love the 50s. The cars, the fashion. I think it'll be very fun to do it. You have all these bright colors, conservative looks. But yeah. Anyways, that's where I'm going to call it. I enjoyed talking to you guys about this. Going to continue to work on this. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in a day or two, maybe tomorrow. Yeah. Hope you guys have